Nothing dramatic needs to happen. This moment isn't the breakthrough, it's clarity. It arrives as a hush or as a tremor you can't name. You've been working, asking, pivoting, praying, scheduling, undoing, trying. And now something different shows up. An odd stillness in the middle of motion. A click you feel more than hear. A photograph partway developed where shapes begin to emerge from the gray. It feels like you're standing at the finish line, and no one has handed you the ribbon yet. You look around and there's only silence. Don't mistake that silence for absence. It is the world settling into the shape it has already taken. If this lands with you, press like as a quiet declaration, not for performance but as a small inner allegiance to what's true. You know the pattern. It has a texture. Some mornings you wake up buoyant, certain. Other mornings terror sits heavy at the base of your skull. You see repeating numbers, coincidences that tug at your hairline of disbelief, a friend arriving with exactly the piece of advice you needed, an email that confirms something you'd only dared to imagine. Then you fall back into doubt as if someone has yanked the floor rug from under your feet. You are exhausted in your bones. You oscillate between fierce conviction and raw confusion. You experience a sense of demolition. Things collapse or exit your life with a finality that feels like punishment. At the same time, you notice small alignments that feel neutral and factual rather than miraculous. Messages, doors opening, availability where there was none. And then there are the long, quiet stretches, the void of sound where you expect fireworks. All of this is evidence, not of failure, not even of the climax. These are the final verification points. These are the clicks that tell you the change has already happened in a deeper field. Your experience now is the developing photograph proving what was exposed days, months, or years ago. Let me give you a map. Not a promise, not a guaranteed timeline, but a frame that will let you read what's happening without succumbing to panic. Think of decoherence as a metaphor. Imagine potentials, all the possible outcomes, like light filtering onto photographic paper. At first, everything is a smear of possibility. Then chemicals do their work. Gradually, distinct lines form. The image that was latent becomes visible. That process, the collapse into a single usable image, can feel messy. It isn't a miraculous instant so much as an unraveling of everything that contradicts the image. Things must fall away. Some doors must close. Habits and relationships that belong to the old image will not fit the new frame. This is the photographic process. This is the vault clicking into place. Because clarity comes in 3 movements, it helps to name them. When you can name the weather, you stop thinking you're in a permanent storm. The 3 phases you're moving through are dissolution, resonance, and the void. Each has its tone, its emotional weather, and its behaviors. Recognize them. They are not accidental. Dissolution. This is demolition. Old structures fall away. Jobs you thought were yours, ways you used to define yourself, routines that no longer support the person you are becoming. It arrives like grief with thin edges, sharp in the moment, quiet after. You will feel unmoored. You will notice people departing or roles evaporating. This is not judgment. It is clearing. It is the system making space for the integrity of the new image. The emotional register here is raw. Expect loss and expect relief to coexist. That relief is not betrayal. It is proof that something else has already shifted beneath your feet. If you are in this phase, be tender with yourself. Don't rush to replace what fell away. Allow the space to be empty for a while. Empty rooms check the fit of what will move in. Resonance. After demolition, patterns begin to align. Think of waves interfering with each other. Sometimes they cancel, sometimes they amplify. When they amplify, the signal becomes clear. You will notice neutral facts stacking, a contact showing up at the right time, a resource appearing where there was none, a sentence overheard that matches what you've held in silence. These are verifications. Call them signals. They are not omnipotent prophecies. They are practical confirmations that the field is aligning with the new image. The emotional tone becomes steadier, more factual. You find evidence. You begin to trust small, sensible things. The work now is to notice and record them. Each small verification is a click of the vault, a finite sound that says, yes, we have a match. The void. This is the hardest to describe because language likes action, and the void is an actionless initiation. It looks like abandonment. It feels like being left alone on a stage that is suddenly empty. The hum drops. People who used to daren't be quiet start talking less. The noise subsides and you are left with the absolute fundamentals. Your breath, your body, your attention. This silence is not absence. It is initialization. It is the developer sitting on the photograph until the image settles. It is also the moment when you must stop doing what you have been doing and begin the act of residence. In the void, you are not building, you are allowing. You have to learn how to abide in the evidence slowly forming. So how do you live in this landscape without losing your nerve? How do you move from wandering, hopeful, sometimes frantic seeker, always trying to make things happen, into the calm resident who knows they already inhabit what they claimed? The shift is both linguistic and embodied. Language matters, behaviors matter. The resident doesn't perform proof. They acknowledge and tidy their life as if it already belongs to them. Let me give you 3 tools you can adopt today, practical, unglamorous, effective, to stabilize the sense of clarity and let the new reality finish its development. Conscious acknowledgement. This practice trains your system to register confirmations rather than glossing over them. Each time you encounter a verification, a coincidence, a helpful conversation, a small win, pause. Breathe for a beat. Name it aloud, internally, or in a journal. Acknowledgement received. That phrase is simple and clinical, intentionally so. It creates a neutral ledger. When you say it, you're not pleading or claiming, you're logging. Keep a small notebook or notes app entry titled Acknowledgements. Every day add 3 items from that day that feel like confirmations. Over a week, you will have a ledger of evidence that counteracts the brain's habit of scanning for lack. The physiological effect is precise. Pause, name, exhale, repeat. You will find the system stabilizes around facts, not fantasies. Mundane embodiment rituals. The resident tends to the space. Small, consistent acts rewire your nervous system to live as the new reality. Pick 3 5-minute rituals you can do daily that embody the life you are stepping into. Examples. Set 2 mugs on the counter and use both. One for your tea, one for a guest. Place a clean notebook on your workspace labeled Plans Now. Lay out a simple outfit the night before that matches how you imagine carrying yourself. Make these actions matter by doing them with attention, not as boxes to check. They are signals to your body. We are moving in here. Choose rituals that are mundane enough to be sustainable, but specific enough to feel symbolic. Do them for 21 days, and notice how your inner posture shifts. Integration practice. Expect turbulence. As the system stabilizes, old fears and patterns will reappear like echoes from timeline B. When they do, don't argue with them. Name them. This is an echo from the old timeline. Use a bodily anchor, a hand on your sternum, a soft breath lengthened by 2 counts on the outbreath, and watch the sensation move through. Keep a small, practical to-do list of responsibilities that remain unchanged. Pay the rent, answer the email, care for your people. Integration is not a call to abandon practical life. It's the art of holding both. Actionable presence plus inner fidelity to what's forming. If a relationship resists the change, apply steady witnessing. Observe, ask questions, offer clarity about your needs, and protect your attention. Integration is daily, not drastic. When you practice these 3 tools, you begin to behave like the person contingent to this new reality. That's the identity shift, seeker to resident. The seeker asks, scrambles, and petitions for proof. The resident keeps a ledger, arranges the house, and answers life from the stance of arrival. Language shifts. You move from I will be to I am learning to live as. Your verbs become present tense. Your calendar reflects the new priorities. You take small financial or logistic steps that match the life you're inhabiting. Not reckless, but symbolic and practical. Paying a bill early because you're the kind of person who pays ahead. Scheduling one meeting in your calendar as if that role were already yours. Changing the name on a playlist or a folder to match your new title. These are small clicks, many of them, that tell your nervous system what you mean. And because the process is not linear, keep your expectations calibrated. There will be setbacks. There will be days where the evidence seems to evaporate. That is normal. The final phase of any major reconfiguration looks messy from the inside. Do not confuse the messiness with undoing. Watch the pattern. When the field is aligning, you will feel confirmation and then silence. You will feel movement and then stillness. Each repetition is a step toward stability. You will also notice that relationships and habits will reorganize. That is part of the system's fidelity to integrity. People who only function in the old reality may not fit the new blueprint. That does not mean you failed. It means the house needed a different furniture arrangement. Be compassionate but clear with people who cannot meet you. Boundaries are not weapons. They are statements of presence. If a friend expresses fear about your change, listen. Offer clarity. If a contract or job no longer matches your orientation, negotiate with integrity rather than burn bridges. Keep your obligations until you have planned alternatives. Residency is neither reckless nor isolationist. There is a useful mental image for the middle of this process. The locked vault. Imagine potentials inside the vault. The new life you have been cultivating as a possibility. As you move through dissolution and resonance, you hear a series of small clicks in the mechanism. Each click is a truth aligning with a truth. Some clicks are loud, a major yes, a clear opening. Most are quiet, a conversation, an invoice paid, an opportunity that fits. When enough clicks happen, the vault doesn't explode open with fanfare. It slides. You don't always notice the precise moment. You notice the absence of dissonance. That absence is clarity. One practical habit that accelerates clarity is to make an evidence shelf. Physically designate a shelf or box where you place tangible verifications. A confirmation email, a note from someone who supports you, a ticket stub from a trip that resembled the new life, a printed message that felt synchronistic. Touch these items occasionally, not out of superstition, but to remind your body that these are facts, not fantasies. When doubt swells, visit the shelf. There is also an inner posture to cultivate. Quiet certainty without neediness. Speak fewer promises into the world. Do fewer big announcements that require everyone's approval. Let your life accumulate small verifications. The quieter your hunger for proof, the more the system will normalize itself without your frantic choreography. Remember, language shapes reality. Replace "if this happens" with "given what's already changing." Replace "I hope" with "I am observing." This is not arrogance. It's a practical recalibration of attention. A resident trusts the ledger more than the dramatic voice in the head. That trust is not blind, it is heated habit. Before we close, a short practice you can do now to anchor this clarity. Breathe in deeply. As you exhale, name one verification you've seen in the past week, anything that felt like a signal. Say to yourself, silently or aloud, "Acknowledgement received." Place your hand over your heart and imagine a small audible click right beneath your sternum. Let that be the sound of the vault matching the key. Practice this for 30 seconds each evening. It trains the nervous system to register fact rather than fear. You are not waiting for something to happen. You are watching something finish itself. The work you did was of that subterranean sort. The choices, the refusals, the grief, the fidelity to the small next step. Those were the exposures. The chemical processes at work now are quiet, and that quiet can be terrifying if you misunderstand it. Understand it instead as clarity arriving in stages. Understand silence as the photographer's darkroom, the final settling. If you want to mark this moment in community, drop one word below that names the identity you are accepting. Peace, sovereignty, home, steward. Pick a word that feels like a key. It will be our small ritual of presence, a ledger entry shared. This moment isn't the breakthrough. It is the confirmation, the click, the developing image. This moment is clarity. Welcome home.